Okay, this is page 10 in the review packet, and we're going to start here with number 22. Motors rated at 1.5 horsepower. What's the rating in watts? This is just a basic conversion problem. You have on your reference sheet 1 horsepower is 746 watts. So 1.5 horsepower. We want watts. So we've got the 746 watts per 1 horsepower. Our horsepower cancels. And we're left with 1,119 watts. We've got 2 sig figs. So our power is 1,100 watts. The next ones are pretty quick. They're a combination from the lectures and from the reading. Classification of energy defined as stored energy. Well, this is just the potential energy. And this is general potential energy, so not just gravitational potential energy, any type of potential energy. And then categorize these energy sources as renewable or non-renewable. Again, just take a minute to think about these for yourself. Pause the video, and I'll go through and give you the answers here. We've got renewable biomass, right? Corn, trash, etc. You can always grow more corn, and we generate a lot of trash, so this is renewable. Coal, this is a non-renewable source. So, in theory, you find a vein of coal, once you dig that all up, that's it. It doesn't regenerate in that spot. There's no regeneration of coal in any reasonable time frame. Wind is a renewable resource. In fact, renewable. In fact, the energy for the wind comes from the sun, so that's something that's always continually being resupplied. And then geothermal energy, that's also renewable. Right. So this is the energy inside the core of the Earth, and that's considered a renewable source. We shouldn't run out of that in any reasonable period of time. If we do, then the Earth is going to get too cold for us to survive. So, 25. This source of energy comes from the Earth's core, and it's prevalent in areas where there's breaks in the Earth's crust. And this is, again, geothermal energy. Now, this is mainly in the reading. We're going to discuss this in more detail, geothermal energy, in the context of generating electricity in module 7. But again, this is primarily from the reading for this module 6. All right, number 26. I'm just going to go through these. I'm going to talk about the form of the energy and then the classification if it's kinetic energy or potential energy. So again, take a minute, try to guess each one before I go ahead and write it. So the first one, again, pause your video, again, and I figure out what it is. All right, so the form of electricity here, or the form of energy, is electricity moving electrons. And that is energy in motion. So this is kinetic energy. Next one, energy of everyday objects. This is mechanical. And the thing about this is it could be either kinetic or potential energy. Right? So think about just like a roller coaster. It can have potential energy. You take it up to the top of the hill. It can also have kinetic energy once it's released and moving. Let's see. Internal energy caused by the motion of atoms and molecules in the substance. So think about that. Pause the video. All right. So this is thermal energy. And thermal energy is a form of kinetic energy. Right. So this is basically how hot something is. And it's, atoms and molecules in motion. All right, stored in the bonds between atoms and molecules in a substance. Okay, so this is chemical energy. Hopefully you guessed chemical. And the type of energy this is potential energy. Right, it's stored energy. So something like gasoline, right? You can take gasoline, you can ignite it. And what you're doing is you're releasing energy by breaking the bonds, between the atoms and primarily between the molecules, or the atoms in the molecules in the gasoline. We got the energy that's stored in the nucleus of the atom. This is, hopefully you guessed it, nuclear. And this is also a potential energy. And finally, we have energy that's transmitted in the form of electromagnetic waves. This is radiant. Radiant energy is also energy in motion. So this is kinetic energy. All right, that's page 10.